The Colts went down again to the Jacksonville Jaguars 30-10 today, so they got swept by the Jaguars. Tables have turned. The Jacksonville Jaguars are the superior football team. There's no question about it.
I knew the game was over when the national anthem was done.
What's going on, everybody? You see a Jaguar back with GenJag.com, and the Jaguars just got done throttling the Colts in not one game, but two games after beating them last Sunday by a score of 30-10. And then earlier in the season, we beat them 27-0. So this season, we essentially outscored the Colts by 57-10. And that feels so nice since it is a division opponent. And just to be able to whoop out on a division opponent is always nice, no matter how bad the other team is. But we're going to go ahead and discuss this game a little further.
It's a foot race. Robinson and Browner, and it's Robinson who wins it. Touchdown, Jacksonville. His 14th win. Bortles with top, looking deep for Robinson.
So the big storyline behind this game was obviously the passing game. The receivers are doing very well. Blake Bortles played very well, completing his passes at a 74% completion percentage. Throwing some really on-the-target balls, and it was really encouraging to see that from Blake Bortles, but it was also encouraging to see the wide receivers be able to go in there and start making some plays, making some grabs, because I've alluded throughout the season that even though Bortles isn't the best quarterback, even though he's not always going to throw the ball perfect, if it hits you in the hands, you got to catch it, and we had players finally making some plays, even, some guys making miraculous catches like the one-handed catch Marquise Lee made. I mean, you don't really see him making those kind of catches, but it was really, really fun to see. Now, one thing I am very worried about is our run game, because if we didn't have a passing game, then our run game would have been non-existent, and that's what we were building our team on, you know what I mean? The whole blueprint for success for our team was having a good run game and, playing great defense, and luckily the quarterback was able to play well, but you never know what you're going to get from Bortles week to week. You know what I mean? You don't know if he's going to be really bad, really erratic, or like what. And, not having a run game, it's really concerning. And it just seems like Leonard Fournette, he is not the same guy as he was earlier in the year. You saw him, earlier in the year basically waving on people to come hit him. And now he's avoiding contact. I mean, I remember one play where he literally, walked backwards out of bounds, and he's not playing with the same kind of ferociousness as we saw at the beginning of the year. I don't think the O-line, it's not like they're doing a really bad job blocking, but I mean, you just remember earlier in the season, I mean, you remember him doing like spin moves, and you remember him doing a lot of like cuts. You're not really seeing that spin move anymore, and you're just seeing a whole different Fournette, and it sucks because when Leonard Fournette is healthy, he is an incredible player. And with Blake Bortles, you'd like to see this Blake Bortles every week, but unfortunately he doesn't come every week. But the good thing about Blake is whenever he's on point, we basically whoop the other opponent. And a lot, I think, of Bortles' success, in these games is what I've been reiterating a lot this year is letting him pass on first down. I thought against the Cardinals we were doing too much run, pass kind of stuff where you're all of a sudden setting them up in 3rd and 10 kind of situations. And it's obvious that Bortles does not feel very comfortable in those kind of situations. But, when you give him a little more range of the offense and let him throw on first down, let him get a little more comfortable that way, he plays a lot better. And you notice when he plays better earlier on, like in the first, second quarter, he's usually able to continue it throughout the game. Now we've seen Blake have some good games this year. You saw him against like the Bengals, you saw him against the Ravens, obviously the Colts twice this year. He's stacking together some good games, but the one thing that he hasn't done yet, and the one biggest concern about him potentially in the postseason, is he's still really yet to put a team on his back when we're down and carry them to victory. Whenever he does that, he usually falls. You know what I mean? He usually, like the Chargers, he threw 2 interceptions. We should have lost that game, but we didn't. You saw him against the Cardinals where he threw that really bad interception late. And that's the thing with Bortles is just his back-breaking mistakes. And, you know what I mean? Like, for us to be able to succeed with Blake, we got to get up. You know what I mean? We got to get up and got to get up early so we can get that double-digit lead and really not force him to have to make a bad decision. Our defense, once again, played great. You saw the coverage was really good, which was making Jacoby Brissett hold the ball a long time. And then when Jacoby Brissett holds the ball a long time, we have some sharks in there on the D-line. They were able to come in there and eat some lunch. Now, the Jaguars currently sit at 8-4, which is a way improvement from 3-13. And one good thing that 8-4 locks up is it pretty much guarantees that we're not going to have a losing season, even if this season does go off the rails. So we're breaking that ugly like 7-year losing streak. We're in prime position to make the playoffs. Like I really think 10-6 will put you in the. I think 10-6 will put you in a playoffs in a wild card spot. So I really think if we go 2-2 throughout the stretch, we will be in the playoffs. But we have a really tough matchup coming up this Sunday against Seattle. And one thing about this Seattle game is if we lose this game, we are still in control of our destiny to make the playoffs. If we lose that game and win our last 3, we are AFC South champions, which that's still a good thing. So we're kind of playing with a little bit of house money in this game. So Jaguars wrap up this victory. They win 30-10 against the Indianapolis Colts, and now we sit at, what are we, 3-1 in the AFC South? Yeah, we're 3-1, and the good thing about that is even if we do kind of get on a little bit of a losing streak, we have some like head-to-head against like the Baltimore Ravens and the Chargers and stuff like that. So luckily we were able to kind of handle our business early in the year, but I'm still think we're going to be doing really well throughout the stretch, so I'm not trying to I'm just talking about worst case scenario just because as Jaguar fans, we know that sometimes anything that can go wrong will go wrong, so just trying to bring that to the table. But really pumped about this season. We got the last quarter of the season coming up. We are hosting the Seattle Seahawks, then hosting the Texans, then we're going to go to the 49ers, and we're going to finish off with a road matchup in the division against the Titans. So that game should be super lit. Hopefully we have the AFC South wrapped up by then, and maybe we can be playing for a first round bye, but we'll see. I'm not going to get too greedy up in here. So that's pretty much all I got. Go Jags, great victory, really fun to watch the game. And yeah, this is UCF Jaguar with GenJag.com, and we out.
That team's really good. It's like we're so used to Jacksonville being a joke in our market, because in our market against this team, the Jaguars kind of been a joke. They're not going anywhere in a bad way. They're good.